is from one of our partners who's really doing a terrific job of selling backup to businesses as a managed solution. So one of the first rules that you'll read about when you read our pricing guide is don't sell backup on a per gigabyte basis to businesses. Don't sell this as a 10 gig solution or a 50 gigabyte solution. Go to your businesses and say, I am your trusted IT advisor. I'm going to provide you with a total data protection and insurance plan. I'm going to do a risk analysis on your business. I'm going to do a vulnerability scan of all of your computers to determine just how much data you've got at the core and the edge of your network. I'm then going to put together a comprehensive ITIL-compatible disaster recovery plan, which, by the way, is required by law for anyone who's subject to the HIPAA or SARBOX requirements, and most businesses aren't in compliance, so you might want to point that out to your customers. Then what this partner's done, and it's very much, if you read our pricing guidelines, you'll see that we recommend this, is then to take a bundled approach. So, for example, for businesses with up to 20 seats, okay, unlimited amount of data, and it will cost you $500 a month. Now, under the hood, you've got to figure out how many gigabytes you need to provision, and we provide you with all sorts of tools that help you do that math. So for those of you who know about our vulnerability scanner, it's a little tool you run on all the PCs, and it tells you how much data is on that PC. It's a great sales and marketing tool, actually. So under the hood, you then figure out how many gigs you've got to provision for that customer. But the customer doesn't need to worry about how many gigs they've got, because they just don't know. I mean, one of the audience members made that comment earlier. Customers don't understand this. So what you get to sell them is total protection and total peace of mind around their environment. Give them all of the elements that they need to be compliant with regulations that they may be subject to, but fundamentally just to have a comprehensive business backup in place. By taking that sort of approach, this partner's making an obscenely high margin. He's making 82% margin on his sales. So his cost from us is $12,566 so far, but he's built a business there with revenue of $70,000. So this really is an excellent example of what's achievable. And I want to encourage you to get an ROI model when you talk to our partner specialists. So I know I'm bombarding you with options, but one of the things we can do is our partner specialists have an ROI calculator where they'll ask you some questions about your business, plug some numbers into that ROI calculator, and it will spit out some ranges for you in terms of the type of revenue you can expect to achieve and the type of profit you can expect to achieve. So when you talk to our reps, if you actually want to mention a super meeting, it's the colloquial word that they use between themselves to talk about this, and that includes product demonstration, an ROI calculation, and then a mock-up, right? And that's really what you want. Or you might want to ask about some of these other things, partner resource center, training, hosted webinars as well. All right. This is actually an example of the vulnerability scanner on screen. You can see this has been rebranded for a given partner. You can see the SOS version here in the middle, but then you can see how the vulnerability scanner works. You run it on a machine, and it very quickly analyzes the machine, breaks out all the different data in the different categories, and then tells you how much data this machine needs to be backed up. Okay, so why partner with SOS? Well, the number one reason is we've got the best technology in the market. Go out and compare us with anybody else, and you'll find that it is the best online backup platform for you to be using. Secondly is price. We won't be beaten on price. So work with our consultants, but we won't be beaten on price. We supply you, we call our partners wholesalers, and we provide backup capacity to you at an extremely low wholesale rate that allows you to go out and sell it and make 50 or 60 percentage points in profit, as I was saying. Delivery and support. 4 people dedicated to you when you become a partner at SOS. 24/7 by 365 delivery. 11 data centers around the world now. Nobody's going to beat us on depth of infrastructure or depth of support. But at the end of the day, it's dollars and cents, right? We are here to help you build a revenue stream that is high margin, recurring revenue with an immediate or very quick return on your investment through selling a new powerful managed service offerings to your customers. All right, so that's the end of the presentation. I'll do some housekeeping items and then we'll do Q&A. So for the Kindle, you need to call in and say, I was on the Thursday 11 a.m. webinar and I'd like to go in the draw for the Kindle promotion. And the Kindle promotion code, which you'll need, is KDX6892. That's Kilo Delta X-Ray 6892. Second item of housekeeping are our November promotions. So we've got a promotion that goes through until 30th of November with a hard cutoff, and that promotion is that for our Easy 250 program, which is our Easy Start program, which is $250 a month, and is usually you get 250 gigabytes of cloud capacity. Through the end of November, you'll actually get 300 gigabytes of cloud capacity, or our most popular program is our Easy 500, and that's usually it's $350 a month, and you usually get 500 gigs of capacity, but through the end of November, you'll actually get 600 gigs of capacity in the cloud. All right, now let's turn to some questions. So I'll start at the bottom and I'll work my way up the list, but please use this time now to ask questions. We've still got 60 people on the line, so we should be able to have a pretty healthy Q&A. Ken, I'm looking on the website and I'm not seeing info on co-branding partnerships. While partnership sounds great, I'm not in a position to be able to afford $249 right now. I'm a very small business currently. Could you address this perhaps at some point? The number one thing you can do, Robert, is book a seminar with your existing customers, because that's free to you. Our guys will show up and do the sales presentation and provide the trials. We'll provide the support on the trials, and if even one of those customers buys, now you're in business. So with no risk to you, we can go out and we can prime your pipeline for customers, and if just one of those customers buys, then you're immediately profitable. So I would say the number one thing you should do is book a seminar. Eli Gokadosh says, Mozy advertises unlimited storage. How do we compete with that? That's a great question, Eli, and we get that a lot. It's very misleading what Mozy advertises. Their storage is not unlimited at all. For starters, it's only for one computer, right? So your average American household now has 3 PCs. So you've got to buy a Mozy account for 3 PCs. Secondly, that's only their home user offering. They do not offer unlimited storage in the business space at all. So if your customers are businesses, then that offering doesn't apply at all. Who are you selling to, Eli? Predominantly home users or predominantly business users? That'll change my answer. All right, we've got, somebody's asking us for the details on the Kindle promotion again. Okay, that promotion code is KDX6892, Kilo Delta X-Ray 6892. Someone's asking what the phone number is. The phone number is 877-896-3611. Okay, more questions here. How does your storage availability reflect backup versus archives? The distinction would be if the data has been removed from the source PC, but it's still in the cloud, it's now an archival copy. If the data is still on the source PC and it's in the cloud, it's a backup copy. Hope that makes sense. Eli's come back and said he's selling to business customers. Okay, so Eli, the Mozy Unlimited doesn't apply at all. So Mozy doesn't sell unlimited backup to businesses at all. So that's the first thing you would say to your business customers. And then I think the second biggest thing with Mozy is it doesn't have unlimited versioning. Third biggest thing is it doesn't support archiving. Fourth biggest thing is they've got license fees of $3.95 per PC per month and $6.95 per server per month without any data being backed up to the cloud. So it's actually a very expensive solution for businesses. Okay, just going back in reverse. Can you tell me about future product development over the next 12 to 24 months? Certainly. In 2011, we'll be expanding our Mac offering, so we'll be expanding into having core Mac products. We already have Mac support today, and we've got iPhone and iPad backup, but we'll be certainly expanding our Mac product line. We'll also be expanding our mobile product line. We'll be releasing a disk imaging product in 2011. So those are really the biggest things that are in the short-term horizon. We don't plan our product development out 24 months because the market's moving so quickly, but we do plan it out for the next 12 months. Okay. Question here, what are the retail prices we can charge for 500 gigabytes? We see 500 gigabytes going for anywhere from $2,500 a year to up to $5,000 a year when you're selling it to businesses. So that's half a terabyte, right? A terabyte typically will sell for $5,000 to $10,000 per year in a B2B sale. All right, so let me go scroll back up here. Lots of questions. Okay. I used a mock-up and it worked great, from Timothy Goodwin. That's terrific. I'd encourage everybody else to use the mock-up. Timothy, are you a current partner or are you thinking about becoming a partner? Are we talking about phone support or just email support? Your support from us is phone-based, so there's a support hotline that you can call in to get support. In terms of serving your customers, you would usually do the level 1 support with your customers and then escalate to us, and we would then support you supporting your customers. Question here from Patrick Alvarez says, so you are channel friendly, meaning that we will also be competing against you in the open market. Not sure what you mean, Patrick. We do sell directly, but we don't have any local presence. So most of our partners really dominate their territories, but they have a pretty small geographic territory. So most of our partners focus on that, their local geography. Okay, any problems or issues with Microsoft Server 2008? No, none, not particularly. We're big fans of Windows Server 2008. We use it ourselves a lot. So we're seeing a lot more of that in the market now. Okay. Question here from Sean Rudzik. What counts versus the 500 gigabytes or 250 gigabytes? Sean, I'm not sure what you mean. Can you give me a little bit more information about that question? Mark Ross asks about the competitor SimForm. Mark, I've never heard of SimForm, which probably says they're very new to the market, because I'm pretty familiar with our competitors. So they're not a major competitor and they're not a major player. I would question their depth of resources for you, and I think you should. The number one thing to look into is, are they a startup, and how long have they been around, and how long will they be around? A lot of people come and go in this industry. One of the things that we do have going for us is we're a very large company. We've been in the business for 10 years, millions of customers, thousands of partners. So you really don't, you don't have to question the stability of your partner, which I think is pretty important, frankly. Okay. So John says, I want to make sure the backup works reliably. The biggest issue we have is having to deal with scenarios when the backup isn't working. I spent 3 hours working on Mosey issue, and it's frustrating. John, it is very frustrating when Mosey doesn't work like that. Our Pulse system is an amazing management tool that helps you handle exactly this scenario. So you can manage up to 5,000 PCs with one Pulse server, and it gives you direct remote control over the PC. You can run backups now, you can get the logs remotely, you can apply server policies and do all of the diagnostic and support work remotely, which is extremely powerful. I didn't really get a chance to talk about Pulse today, but Pulse is our most exciting product offering, and I think really kicks the pants off any competitive offering from our competition. So my answer there would be use Pulse. Timothy Goodwin says, great golf course recovery illustration. However, our end customers can provide their own recovery and access, correct? Absolutely, Timothy. Some customers want hand-holding and will still want to call you to do recovery, in which case you can do it easily. Some other customers will just do it themselves, and that saves you a lot of time because you can delegate recovery down to them. Anthony Palermo asks, could you share more details about the Core Mac product line? Anthony, sure. What would you like to hear about? Derek Grunwald asks, just to clarify, this backup service is just for file backup, not anything like bare metal restore recovery. Derek, bare metal over the wire is very tough to do because the amount of data that you've got to ship just grows astronomically. The problem with bare metal backup is that you're backing up so much data that you don't really need to be backing up. So we don't recommend or support doing bare metal over the wire. We recommend you do bare metal recoveries locally, but not over the wire. Question from Christopher Torres. Joined the webinar late. Will the slides webinar be available later? Absolutely. You'll get an email with a link to the video of the webinar.